this one, we're going to be seeing a lot more of the Nidalee as well as that Rek'Sai in the jungle. 269 going for an interesting split push composition on their hand.
Interesting, they picked out the Maokai mid lane for SOFM. A bit of hubris, I have to say, considering it's one of those things where you think will work in solo queue, but you don't really bring it to a competitive setting unless you've been scrimming with it a lot. And honestly, we talked about SOFM as that big point in the mid lane in the previous seasons. Well, coming into this season, he hasn't really looked as good as he was before.
I mean, this is rather interesting. I would like to see what SOFM goes for. He usually goes for very greedy builds. We saw him go for Ignite on the Seraph. We might see Max E out on the Maokai in the mid lane, clear those waves, and then go for his opponent's Raptors as well. But nonetheless, let's just head into game to find out what happens and if SOFM giveth or if SOFM taketh.
Yeah, hopefully he giveth this game with the AP Maokai, I believe, starting off very heavy, investing in the ability power with the Doran's rings and those pots.
So on the right side, we have HFL, and then moving into the river very slowly, we're gonna be getting a glimpse of 269. So actually getting caught up behind the twisted advance. SOFM goes in for the one. In fact, popping a smash, down binding lens as well. It's the Ignite. So many summoner spells blown. It is gonna be the Nidalee who picks up in the end. 1, 2, 3, 4 summoner spells blown on the side of HFL. So only blows the splash, but they get the first blood.
Completely worth it. I think in this instance, SOFM giveth, starting with the arcane, or excuse me rather, the twisted advance and catching him out. I just like to point out how King of War was the one that managed to get the kill and did get those boots of speed and extra potions, which will help his jungle route quite a bit. KOW, of course, King of War, we know him in the mid lane in the jungle for HFL, rotating between those positions quite a lot.
I mean, we did see an iteration of Full Lewis with Kelvin, though it's very tactical Full Lewis, involving some interesting ganks, but we haven't seen him play just yet ever since SOFM has returned. And the SOFM in the mid lane on the Maokai. I really have to wonder what's he going to be bringing. In fact, he went for the twisted advance first, and without any summoner spells, he's not going to be doing anything at level 1 against Beyond.
The thing is, on the bright side, you do have that Nidalee, which packs a big punch in the jungle. So if SOFM can get the lockdown onto Beyond, and the spears connect for for King of War, then it's actually rather strong of a kill lane in a 2v2.
So it is going to be no lane swap for either team. HFL, they have never lane swap before, and they don't look like they want to be changing that up. 269 in the top lane. We'll see what they will be able to do with this one.
Not having to lane swap against 269. Celebrity and Zerg, not really the best bot lane duo in the GPL. Serviceable, but not the best by far. There you go, just showing why the lane swap 2v2 was not an option. HFL coming out very good from that trade.
I mean, they know that Trash, he doesn't have display available for him, and therefore they're putting a little bit more focus into him. And as of him, he does have the level 2. I do believe he leveled up the sapling for himself, so there's going to be some additional wave clear. HFL into Boston and just trading back and forth, rather even between the Corky and Graves at the moment. Starfall moving aggressively forward, eats the buckshot, does miss the dark binding. Hook lands onto him. Will they be going in for the play? No, they're not going to be going for it. And 269 is just going to come out hit in this trade.
I have to say that HFL's composition is packing a lot of magic damage coming from Corky, the Maokai, and Nidalee, and that's going to be very easy to itemize if you're Beyond or King J. You go for the early Abyssal or early Banshee's Veil, and that helps you team fight much better and find your 1v1 duos much more efficiently as well.
I mean, it's a Maokai in the mid lane after all, so I'm not really sure what is he going to be going for, or to be most like World Aegis or something along those lines. But he might surprise us and put out the legendary AD Maokai.
AD Maokai. Hasn't been a while since Season 2 where Money in the Bank Maokai was a thing. Now SOFM under pressure.
Go. He gets snared up, and Heaven comes around from the side. He gets the lockdown, but SOFM does have a fair bit of sustain onto this Heaven. Does get the flash in and the execute.
In the top lane, damage being traded between Shin and King J. King of War still trying to find something onto Beyond, but Spear not connecting means the end of that. Getting shoved in is the bot lane of HFL, and on the back foot now, the Vietnamese flag. She was like,
oh, did he just get baited? King of War is gonna fall 2 kills over the Heaven.
Yeah, so that's a very 2-kill early advantage to the jungle, despite King of War picking up 1 now. Violet and Starfall being pushed back very heavily in this matchup.
Celebrity and Sir now just doing so much to the Boston lane, but with the exhaust available for the Morgana, and with Trash now having the flash available to him, HFL, they had the potential to make something aggressive happen in the bottom lane. Starfall moving forward once again, missing the dark binding.
It's very uncharacteristic of this bot lane as King J just puts a bit of damage onto Shin. Normally Violet and Starfall, they are the bot lane to hit their skill shots and find solo or rather 2v2 kills. On this instance playing very badly. Heaven from the back knocks up
comes
Shin.
in once again, the Gens are just so good. The Ray buff taking away. This time it is King J who picks up the kill. Heaven with the early plays.
The problem with picking Hecarim top, a lot of people will tell you, if you get counter snowballed, you fall behind very quickly, and King J as Aurelia picks up the early kill for himself. Doesn't even have to recall, he's still very healthy. SOFM swapping up to the top lane against this Aurelia.
I mean, SOFM tries to make some visits to the top lane, but this just looks like just where he might be more comfortable with Maokai in the top lane. I was even expecting Shin to hit the mid lane with the Hecarim against the Sandra in this game. It looks like HFL, they found themselves with a very awkward draft at the moment. Maokai in the mid lane. I'm still a little bit puzzled as to what SFM wants to achieve with this one, going for the double kill runs, which means that it's unlikely that he will be building the Roll of Ages.
Yeah. Shin here, getting the early now Magic Mantle will signify he wants to kickstart that Mercury Threads into Home Guard build, which is what we normally see on top lane Hecarim. Home Guard teleport into the back of a fight and just deal a lot of damage with that onslaught of shadows. Heaven are sitting around to find SOFM.
Oh, SOFM, he might be in a little bit of trouble once again. The tunnel passage into second burrow may mean a very strong gank onto the tree in the mid lane. It's so weird to see the Maokai in the mid lane. The Starfall's around the corner to try and help him out. Sir now going in onto Violet. Does he land the hook? Chose a little bit too far to the right.
Yeah, I believe the Tremor Sense from Rek'Sai did spot out Starfall roaming into the mid lane, and as a result they chose to back off knowing they were at a disadvantage. 2v3, not the best situation for a gank. Very smart decision making coming out from 269 early on.
Fuluis once again headed up into the top lane. We might see a dive over here. Shin does drop the ignite onto him. And here we have the Maokai and the Morgana coming in. King J still alive, but the Hecarim ultimate will pick him up.
Yeah, and the response kill from Shin, the turret damage too strong for him. Goes down. Hecarim 1-for-1 traded for Aurelia here. Despite committing so many resources, only getting 1-for-1.
I have to feel that with the 2 kills on the Aurelia right now, Phage already completed. And the Hecarim just going for the Mercury transfers. This is going to be rather problematic for the HFL squad. In fact, I'm not even sure what the Mercury transfer is supposed to achieve in this matchup.
Yeah, you normally want to get the Tabais against Aurelia, but since he will be facing beyond, or excuse me rather, yeah, you normally want to get the Tabais in lane against Aurelia, so the Mercury Thread's not doing a whole lot in this matchup. It will mitigate the stun coming in from King J, so not to say useless, just not as efficient.
Hook lands onto Starfall. The Black Shield prevents the flame from coming through. 269, he just trades some damage in the bottom lane. This Graves though, he has been taking a very large chunk to see his lead in his favorite, just pressuring up Violet with all the lack of summoner spells that's coming in since level 1.
CS lead very big in favor, very large in favor of Celebrity. Coming close to about 15 CS gap at 8 minutes in the game. Picked up the early pickaxe as compared to the Ruby Crystal and Longsword of Violet, and hence the damage discrepancy allows him to trade with Buckshot as compared to Phosphorus Bomb.
SOFM just repeatedly roaming up to the top lane, but every time he's been spotted out, the flame goes down onto Violet. Celebrity not level 6 just yet. The Valkyrie will be forced, and Violet will have to escape away from that one.
Yeah, King of War has to come down to provide a bit of support. Doesn't connect with the spear though. Will be the blue team that picks up Dragon. Heaven soloing it out, and then using the burrow to get out of the pit safely.
Shin in the top lane against the screen just shifting around all this time. King J and Shin dueling it all over there. Shin might have decided going for this one. The equipment struck is down for that, so Hecarim identifying window of opportunity to just trade back and forth. But now once again it goes up, and the ultimate is popped from King J. Is he able to get a solo kill? One less Blaze Surge goes in, and it is the solo kill coming true.
Yeah, you should have praised Shin there, Caster's Curse, turning up, knowing when to trade, yes, but misjudging the damage that was presented to him. King J on Aurelia with that 2 kill lead, or rather now 3 kills, gonna snowball very hard against Shin. If he can keep the Hecarim under control, HFL's composition will fall apart, because without the onslaught of shadows engaged together with SOFM, they can't dive the back line.
Now 269 setting up a trap in the bottom lane. They do pop it, the hook doesn't land, and once again Fulu is playing with fire in this bottom lane.
CS gap has risen to 20 here for Celebrity. So despite us saying how Celebrity and Zerg not the best AD carry bot lane in the GPL, still doing a mighty fine job against Violet and Starfall.
And now the Rek'Sai as well as Lissandra. It is 269's turn to roam up into the top side of the map. Come on, Observer. Let's bring us there. Nope. There we have it. Beyond in Heaven.
Spear will snipe Heaven out, providing some vision, considering the hunt is on for Nidalee. A wave pushing heavily in favor in the top lane for Shin, so it's going to be shoving up towards him, and King of War can make a return visit if he sees the opportunity. Shin though, clearing out the wave rather heavily.
Well, KJ once again goes in onto Shin, the top side of the map, but here we have a dive onto Celebrity. It is the Soul Shackles coming through, just barely not getting the last second of proc onto Celebrity. He escapes that stun, and the rest of 269 is here for the backup. HFL, they try to touch the turrets, but they just repelled by the good rotations from 269.
Yeah, the presence of Lissandra across the map is rather scary, because if you dive her or decide to over-engage in the top lane, no, King J getting taken very low, King of War and Shin dive him and they do get the kill. Shin will be the one that picks it up, and stifling the Irelia is what they need to do now. Keep him behind and get Shin ahead now.
I mean, the more I think about it, this is Maokai in the mid lane in response to Lissandra. He does get a fair bit of sustain whenever Lissandra casts spells, and as melee versus range, you don't suffer that much in the mid lane because there are no brushes to set that. And then Lissandra, whenever she decides to go to also attack you, and in fact Beyond now in a whole bunch of trouble, does drop the ultimate on himself. King of War does not get executed as the Dark Passage is able to save Beyond. Now, as of him in a whole bunch of trouble, the ultimate is not good enough to save him in that one. King of War trying to run away, he gets knocked up by the Rek'Sai. He tries to jump around, gets to execute onto Beyond, but Surf misses the play, but here we go, the Praise Seeker does pick him up.
Yeah, and that's a 2-for-1 in the mid lane. Double kill over to Heaven. 4-0-1 now is this Rek'Sai. Rather scary. If he builds damage, he will be able to split push, and 269 will have a 1-3-1 available to them with King J and Heaven split pushing in the sides. I don't like this Maokai pickup because normally when you want to get a Maokai, you have a hyper carry to protect, and SOFM here, yes, he's building tank, but Violet isn't really the one to scale that well in the late game. Corki, of course, falls out really hard.
But it's still a rather decent game team fighting composition. The moment Violet does get the Trinity first, they will be able to make some aggressive moves and try to perhaps find something against 269. The Arella, however, 3 kills on her end. She will be able to complete the Trinity Force effect slightly faster than Violet in the bottom lane.
Yeah, mid-game team fighting, definitely good for HFL. A bit low on damage as a composition, and falling behind now, it's going to be even worse for them. As you mentioned, the kill 3, 2, and 0 for Irelia. Rather scary now.
Right. As Seven is running a tank in the mid lane, he's gone for that Spectre's Cowl, giving himself the additional magic resistance, and we seem falling behind in CS, something we don't usually see SFM do.
It's interesting because it seems like SOFM and King of War have kind of swapped places. Normally it's like the Nidalee mid that does the damage, but hold on, King J going on to
gets
Shin.
some damage onto Shin, but here comes King of War, he lands the spear. King of War tries to go for the execute, the ultimate comes through, the charge of darkness comes in, and now Heaven tries to get the execute. The Rip-Up is thinking, is he able to get it? The knockup once again, you're gonna get this one, and he gets the double kill as he picks up Shin as well.
6-0-1 now. Heaven is just ridiculously huge. Hasn't even recalled to buy, still sitting on their Warriors Enchantment Chilling Smite. Celebrity and Violet just dueling out. Collateral damage has been healed up, and both AD carries just walk away after testing the waters a bit.
So the 1v1 duel on the bottom lane just results in summon spells being traded. Once again, just looking at SFM in the middle lane, this Maokai over here is getting a fair bit of sustain. He isn't just getting any map pressure around. He's trying all these early game roams, and now he just looks like he's being bullied up by Beyond instead.
Itemizing heavy magic resistance doesn't protect you from all the auto attacks that Beyond will be able to mix in when he casts spells.
Oh, gets caught out. He does then. The Dark Binding just flies over, and he's gonna get a flay as well. Starfall flashing a little bit too early, and 269 pick up another kill. This time, sending it over to the top laner.
10-5 is the kill count now for 269 compared to HFL, and 1,000 gold ahead for 269. The newcomers on the block definitely showing HFL that they can compete with the forerunners of the GPL.
I mean, HFL, they got a forerunner to the GPL at this point of time. It's not exactly the most accurate. They have been looking rather shaky. They have been staying true to the very YOLO style that SFM has been bringing. And it's a rather different SOFM than the ones that we've seen in the group stages. HFL group around this one. Are they going to be going for the Dragon? They're standing on top of the Scouter Crab at the moment. 269. They can contest this one. This might be huge for either team.
HFL has to back off here. I don't think they can take this fight. The flank from the Sandra is coming. Frozen Tomb available as well. And Heaven is huge. He has the TR going for this.
Just kiting back and forth right now. They're just exchanging poke at each other at the moment. HFL, they're just playing this very precariously. They're still standing on top of the speed try, which means that 269 they do engage. HFL will be in a whole bunch of trouble.
Yeah, so they do decide to back off. Very smart there. The top wave pushed in, got some damage, but 269 here have priority in the mid lane. They shove that wave up beyond, just using the ice shot to keep the wave forward, and SOFM can't really repel that push. A lot of wave clear from 269 here. The Prey Seeker landing on multiple members. SOFM gets caught out though.
SOFM, the death sentence does land, and the rest of the chain CC really locking him down. The tree doesn't have any chance to respond as he just frozen and shattered a bit.
Yeah, if they trade towers here, it would be good for HFL, but a kill going over does give 269 the advantage. Triforce completed onto King J is a huge power spike that HFL cannot deal with at this point in time.
They do get multiple turrets on the side as well, but HFL trading these turrets and losing SOFM. It seems like they're falling behind and losing on this trade.
Goal lead has extended to about 2,000 for 269 here. Starfall doing his best to clear vision out in order to sneak this dragon away, and that's the only way HFL can take this dragon, if they decide to sneak it away while drawing attention to some other side of the map. If it's an all-out fight, I believe 269 will draw and win HFL here.
The 269 starting on this dragon at about 50% right now. The rest of HFL is nowhere near this one. I don't think Violet should be anywhere near. It's just too risky. But nonetheless, 269 is gonna be dragon number 2 for them, I believe.
Yeah, and dragon number 2 rather important for a composition that wants to run a 1-3-1 split push, because you take down turrets that much quicker with the 15% bonus attack damage, or rather bonus damage to the turret.
King J gets the equalizing strike onto SF, and here comes Beyond, locks him up with the ring of first as well. King J might be taken up very low, still thinking where he's going to survive on the ignite with the amount of sustain he gets from the ultimate, and they do take down SOFM. It's still 3 for 2, now 3 for 1. Starfall and the Nibity just destroying them from the side as well. Soul Shackles does come in. Are they able to land? The Stun Heaven gets stunned up, and now the Nibity drop very low. The Exhaust not good enough to save his life, and now Shin just spinning and doing whatever he can. Beyond does get a good ring of frost, snaps him out. Now King of War extremely low. The Prey Seeker just misses out, and Spear right now would be lethal, but here comes the collateral damage from the sideline. Celebrity gets the kill. 4 for 1 in the favor of 269.
Yeah, SOFM does nothing at this point in time. He's basically a walking tank, and without Violet around to deal damage, HFL sorely lacking on the team fighting front, and their mid game power spike not as smart or not as strong as we expected. Without the 3D force on Shin and without Corky around, they can't really fight. 269 very far ahead with the Tiamat and Giant's Belt on Heaven. You can see how much damage he was dealing in that small skirmish, and the turret on the side went down really quickly as well.
So Fulu is right now just respawning and coming out of the base. Iceborne Gauntlet on the really rather interesting itemization alongside the Megas Enchantment as well. Talk me through this one.
I honestly don't like this pick as much because, hold on, SFM getting caught once again, knocked out, stunned up.
Tree, but here comes Shin for the response. Beyond drop extremely low, but the death sentence is good from Surf. Could have flamed back as well. Double kill for Heaven right now. This Rek'Sai is just going bonkers on HFL.
Yeah, 9-0 and 5, finishing up the Warmox as well. He's heavy in damage and tankiness, and I don't think there's a reply for HFL here, especially the fact that Nidalee picked up the Frostbound Gauntlet. They want to kite back and protect the AD carry with the double tank composition that they are running, but it's not really working out because Violet, he didn't get a hit, and he's not a hyper carry, and that's not what HFL can utilize.
King J in the top lane just shredding this turret. There's no more top lane to oppose him in this one. The Home Guard's teleport is still available play for Shin, but he hasn't even picked up the Home Guard's enchantment.
Yeah, no Home Guard early on, and that's really, really risky because you can't come in for a fight. But then again, the whole team has been falling behind, and you normally want Home Guards if you want to start the fight. If you're far behind, you normally want to avoid fight, so that's explain why he delayed picking that up.
269, they're gonna pick up another turret. Once again, the rest of Fulu is just nowhere to respond to this push. Now they're just knocking on the base turret itself, and King of War still trying to create with the mid lane turret. The Morgana stealing the opponent's jungle. Fulu is just so out of position. SF is going to fall in all this time. 269, they're just finding all the excuses and advantages, and Fulu is just not on the same page.
Yeah, 0, 6, and 3 SOFL on this Maokai. I really have to criticize this pick. It makes zero sense when you draft the composition, and very suspect pick and bend phase coming from HFL here. It looked like something that could have been, you know, some may say cheesy, but it was not working out at all.
18 and 6 in the favor of 269. They find themselves 7,600 goals. These comebacks with this kind of goal, comebacks with these kind of goals is definitely possible. But I have to say,
At
Full
20
Lewis, they need
minutes,
to
at 20
step
minutes
it up.
it is rather hard though, because look at the composition that they've drafted. They have no reliable damage in the late game or scaling department, whereas Irelia is going to get really big, and so is Rek'Sai. And that point where HFL have to send members off the split, the team fighting will not be there.
I mean, like I was saying, they've got to step it up. They've got to play as a team. They got to get the engagements in properly, and they need to stop getting caught out in all these random places.
Well, Righteous Glory will be able to help them pick the fights that they want. They are starting to group up, as you mentioned. They have to start sticking together and not get caught out. The Death Ball is the best option here for HFL. My main concern is, will the Death Ball be any use, or will they just be a bit of a lackluster damage roll?
269 moving into the bottom side of the map right now, hunting for kills. They do see Shin being spotted out. They know that he doesn't have the flash, and who better to bully but than the top laner who doesn't have the flash available to him? Doesn't even have the summoner spell. Oh, this is going to be another turret of going over to them. It's a huge wave, and they're trying their best to carry it out. The Falcon just throwing out the missile. Celebrity takes a fair chunk of damage from the poke.
Good binding on the Celebrity will put down some damage onto this Graves. 269 have to back off after taking a bit too much poke, I think. Just a bit careless in that siege. Standing way too far in front, not waiting, or not giving enough respect to HFL.
Dino Dragon will be coming in another 45 seconds in 269. They want to be going for the objectives. They've got 2 available to themselves, and they're just not putting 2 engines to close out the game against Fulu just yet.
The issue here is, if you realize, Beyond on Lysandra completely different from Warlock, when the latter has found rather good engages using the flanks and the walls to hide his entrance, whereas Beyond always in front and telling HFL when he's coming in with the Glacial Path.
I mean, I guess 2-1-9 when you're that far hit, Zion's Hourglass available as well. Just directly engage into your opponents, and
no, the issue here is if you engage directly, it's telegraphed. They can blow you up immediately and then move on to the rest of your team, and that's very tricky. In addition, if you telegraph your engage, HFL will just back off, and that's a very big point wasted because your primary engage here is Beyond.
I see. I mean, once again, you're showing me why I'm still in gold.
269 here with the third dragon of the game. The point man Beyond not really on point, as it were.
Have been coming around from the sides. They
There
do
you
catch
go.
a King of War once again. The Nidalee just drops so low. The Ignite is going to be a pick him off. The Rocket tries to go in to deter the opponent's damage, but 269 just picking off the members of your opposing squad just one by one.
And with the Nidalee down, that's a lot of poke that HFL will be missing, so they can set up siege once the minions start streaming in. Additionally, Heaven can just tank it up if they get greedy, but don't think that should be the right course of action.
Scoring out being dropped down to spot the opponent's location. Fool Lewis, they find themselves in a little bit of trouble right now. It's 269, they're trying to go for broke. This might be where they break the base and take the inhibitor. The Nidalee not available just yet, but only 23 minutes into the game. Those cooldown timers, those death timers aren't just that long. Ocean coming off the base. Still no home guards on the Hackrim. I mean, come on guys. When you play the Hackrim, just get the home guards. Ha, I got this one right.
Yeah, really poor without the home guards, because you can't force the engages that you want. In addition, home guards kind of boost your attack damage as well, so it's not just a mobility item, it's an offensive item as well. Shin, perhaps not too practiced on this Hackrim.
So 269 once again is backing off. Picking up some farm around the map once again. Nothing too decisive with the lead at the moment, so
Despite the 7,000 goal lead as well, Heaven will find Shin here. The solo is
shit,
available.
the horse is going to be running away, and who is going to be receiving backup as he turns around, gets the charge onto Heaven, and the Rek'Sai will be borrowing out of that one as the rest of Fool Lewis is around the corner to back up the top laner.
Yeah, with the current status of this Hackrim, the devastating charge isn't as devastating, it's more of like a traumatic or slightly annoying charge.
Tickling charge.
Yeah, tickling charge at this point.
Deficit charge. Because that's what it is, just lacking at this point of time.
Yes, it is. Really lacking is this lineup of HFL and SOFM. Yes, he has the Righteous Glory, but he's building more MR and it's not going to mitigate the damage coming from King J or Celebrity. They need to finish up the Frozen Heart on Shin though. The flash for
SOFM
SOFM.
flashes forward, he doesn't get the Twisted Advance down. Celebrity still in the bottom lane, knocking away on the turret. The split push, 1 and 4 from 269 is just picking apart Full Lewis. They just don't know what to do. And here we go, not 269 responding. They know that Full Lewis they want to be responding to the bot lane push and just shoving up the mid lane. Celebrity does recall, however.
Shot calling a bit off point here. Not sure why 269 isn't putting vision down and enacting the 1-3-1 split push, because Hecarim clearly can't deal with this Aurelia now, and neither can Corki deal with this Graves. So if they do a 1-3-1, it'll be more effective. You get the waves to the turret, you exert mag pressure, and then bait around the Baron or find a good team fight.
So Full Lewis still but hang on to this game. 9,000 go behind now. Slowly being choked out of the game. So 269, I do believe they're just waiting for a period of time when the death timers are a little bit more significant before going in and pulling the trigger on the Full Lewis.
The saving grace for HFL is the Nidalee though, because 5.4 Nidalee scales ridiculously with AP, and if he gets the death cap into the Hourglass, could be able to deal significant damage to priority members of 269. As you saw there, the spear just chunking Celebrity out.
Oh, they find Shin first, pops the ultimate to get away, but the dog winding, the death sentence, I mean, is good. And 269 picks up the kill.
So that's one member down, and importantly, the engager for HFL. You want the Hecarim, you want the Maokai to be in the front, and with him down, they could very well just shove a wave up without fear. King J starting the split push in the bot lane, has the teleport available to join if he's needed.
So with no top laner and no way to answer this Aurelia, Full Lewis, they just caught between two very difficult situations. Do we protect Baron or do we protect our bot lane turret? We see SOFM recalling back to the base, but by then already King J is knocking on the turret 50%. Right now, going to be dropping to about 40%, and now SOFM just finishes, just recall back to the base. He doesn't even have home guards for himself, and that is going to be the first inhibitor tower of the game going down in the favor of the 269.
Tried to catch out King of War there, not enough vision. Beyond takes a big spear to the face, and that's only with a Blasting Wand and Mega's Enchantment. King J in the bot lane just getting engaged on, and two members here. This should signify that 269 do the Baron without hesitation.
Oh, King J does see two members. In fact, it's only the Hacker and Morgana at this point of time. 269, King J might actually be able to win this duel. So, but the rest of 269, what are they doing? They're backing away. Celebrity just drops so low right now. It's caught between the Nidalee as well as the Grace, but the Dark Passage will be there to save him.
Yeah, very good play by King of War here. As I mentioned, Nidalee, the saving grace, if she lands those spears, it will poke members of 269 off objectives. Very poor, I think, from 269 to not have enough vision around to dodge around the spears. You can look at the map. No blue wards outside of the Baron pit around the red buff area of HFL, and that's what has been denying them Baron takes.
Very slow closing attack coming from 269. Now, Aurelia completed the Red Wind's open already for herself. That's going to be giving her a fair bit of tankiness against whatever Full Lewis might decide to do. That's a rather interesting choice. I think it's more for engagement purposes, because Full Lewis, what's the damage is a magic source?
It's a secondary engagement, as you well pointed out. After Beyond goes in, King J will be the secondary engager. Once he goes in, pops the randoms, keeps everyone from HFL slowed, and buys time for Celebrity and Heaven to do work on them. Vision being cleared out in the Baron pit by 269. Very smart here, knowing that they can bait around that while King J stays in the bot lane to push up Violet. Valkyries very aggressively forward onto Zerg. The spear does not connect, and that should be the end of that.
Zerg is a little bit of trouble, but he buys enough time. Celebrity just picks up the dragon. That's dragon number 4. Now with the movement speed bonus as well as the bonus wave clear ability, 269. I just sort of wonder, when are they going to pull the trigger? This just still split 1 and 4. Irelia is in the bottom lane, and we see a recall coming in from Zerg.
Yeah, Beyond not making full use of the engage capabilities that Lissandra has, completely staying in vision of HFL, notifies them when they want to fight.
King J just doing our shit at the moment, just trying to deal as much damage as they can to each other. And King J, he gets the equilibrium strike, dropping to about 30% of his health. King J bombs his ultimate as well, and that's good enough to deter the Hacker away as he turns his focus onto the inhibitor. No, he backs off once again. Teleport is available for both of these champions. We have to see what either of them will be able to achieve. And now 269 still posturing around the Baron area. Full Lewis, still trying to contest this one.
Yeah, Fulus has to back off. The Glacial Path and Flash is available for Beyond. He can close a lot of distance and engage onto the Nidalee and blow him up. Spears coming in from King of War will try to poke out this Baron, but 269, they should switch off this Baron and just engage onto HFL here.
Oh, once again, this doesn't hit onto anything, and it's just throwing on more and more damage, but this is enough. They just drawn the huge distraction, and now King J is working on this inhibitor turret. Here comes SOFM to respond to Arella. King J doesn't even finish up the inhibitor, just walks out of that one. Now they know it's a 4v4. SOFM goes in once again, but King J doesn't even care about the Maokai. He said, nah, you don't have enough damage, and it's just going to be beating away slowly on the inhibitor. The King of War does get an execute, but he creates a slide for it as picks up Celebrity, but Beyond is just there to just blow him up the moment he decides to get a little bit too overextended. The inhibitor does go to King J, but now he finds himself in a whole bunch of problems as he does try to blaze switch over to the Grom, but gets killed by Morgana.
Yeah, best case scenario there, giving the kill over to Morgana, but they picked up the inhibitor and King of War, starting to scale up very heavily this Nidalee. You could see that one-shot Celebrity before they even partook in the fight. Very big threat now in the form of this jungler. My concern is that they're not itemizing any MR at all. Not even picking up the locket for the whole team, and that's gonna make King of War hit even harder. Vision control very poor from 269 as well. HFL doing very well to keep relevant in the game despite being so far ahead by covering a lot of ground with their wards.
So how we tell me through this one? What? I'm just gonna ask you, when do you think this game is gonna end?
Now 269, in order for them to hit the win condition, they either have to get Baron and split push their way to victory, as we see King J do so often. If not, find a good flank with Beyond using the Glacial Path, immediately delete King of War and then take the fight to HFL. Unfortunately, the latter seems to be a bit tough because Beyond isn't so well versed on this Lissandra, as you can see here.
So two things to take note of. The first one will be the split push coming in from 269, and the second one is definitely going to be this Baron fight where Beyond can get some really sick picks on. Is he going to go for this one? Star for the show himself. And here comes the rest of 269 and Full Lewis as well. They're going to be zoning out the rest of the Full Lewis squad. Immediately King of War is going to fall. And here comes Heaven.
The great flank
lashes forward. He catches Starfall. Double kill onto the Rek'Sai so far. Is he able to get the triple? She comes in for the backline. Beyond is going to be the focus. It's a triple kill for the Rek'Sai. Can he make it a quadra? It's going to be stolen away by Celebrity.
That was the flag right there. That was what I was talking about. Using the wall to show to hide where your engage is coming from, and then just flashing forward, getting the engage onto HFL. That was what Beyond needed to do. They accomplished both of the win conditions now, and it's going to be very simple for 269 to close out the game.
It is the Baron available for themselves, and all 5 members, 4 members on the side of Full Lewis are down at 32 minutes. This is going to be inhibitor turret and an inhibitor to boot as well. Whether they stay or not, we'll have to find out.
This is really scary for HFL. 2 inhibitors down, Baron on almost everyone on 269. And a split pushing force in the form of Rek'Sai's global presence, Void Rush, and King J with teleport. I think HFL are done here.
Yup, calling a GG even before the Nexus Stars is down. I'm not really a big fan of that, but in this case, definitely sure looks like it. Sure looks like it.
I think it's something at 98% 269 win to 2% HFL win. It's not definite, but more than likely for sure.
I mean, we saw a rather weird game on Thursday between
we did.
the side one teams, so at this point anything can happen.
Well, it is a Vietnamese derby as well, so maybe the same situation will happen. We would not know, but for now, 269 grouping up, getting the next set of items. Void Staff completed, in addition to his current set Beyond, looking very scary now with his flanks.
Oh, Hammer goes and he gets the knockout onto 2 people, and here comes Sorg as well. Flashes forward, doesn't get the flay down. The Righteous Glory has been bought. The ending effect of it does slow his opponents down, similar to that from Renton's Omen. And now 269 hitting up into the top lane. They're gonna be going for all the inhibitor turrets before moving on to the Nexus ones.
Beyond starting to pick up in terms of engagement, using terrain to conceal his entrances rather well. But in the face of HFL, it's going to be rather tricky. He has to use the minions instead to conceal his entrance.
Definitely indeed. And now Full Lewis, he hated, he just grouped up and their own base at the moment, trying to find any way, any way that they can to get some map control back and perhaps even win a fight. But now 269, they might be going for it. They're attacking onto the turret. Nexus turret number 1 is going to fall. SOF is going to fall as well. He engages a little bit too early. 269, they're going to be going for Nexus turret number 2, and that is going to be game GG.
Yeah, GG indeed. Great game won by 269. I think HFL had a very suspect pick and ban phase. SOFM 0, 8 and 4. Not even pick up 1 kill throughout the course of the game.
Not sure what the Maokai was supposed to do, but Full Lewis games tend to be a little bit funky, tend to be a little bit
And
weird. Sometimes it's hit, sometimes it's miss. Looks like we
Yeah.
just saw a miss, and